this very much a curtain raiser, really, for the big one in a couple of weeks in the League Cup final. It's another game. Obviously, we heard Arne Slot and obviously Virgil van Dijk and everyone bigging up the crowd. It's going to be some game, but especially Anfield. Seven games left at Anfield, and let's hope we can do what we want to be doing this season, mate. But you've played in many of the great atmospheres for Liverpool. Like how important going into this game is that Anfield atmosphere going to be? Till now, obviously the game on Wednesday, but going forward as well.
So we're led to believe that inside the ground for the Wolves game, that there were some nerves. There were some nerves in the stand, and also Andy Robertson spoke about some nerves. Now, surely this is the end of the nerves, isn't it? Yeah. You know, this is now the home run, isn't it? You know, this is now the bit to be enjoyed. You know, and what better than a Newcastle team? I still firmly believe there's two Newcastles. There's the team that plays at home at St James's Park, a stadium that's very close to being able to create the same intensity as we do at Anfield. And then there's Newcastle away from home, which can still be a little bit hot and cold.
I was going to say, what's that down to?
I just don't think. Sometimes teams, they get lifted by the intensity of the home crowd. And I think that happens to Newcastle. I watched them in the semi-final against Arsenal in the Carabao Cup, and the intensity and the energy in the stadium simply lifted the team, and they don't quite get that. So I don't expect Newcastle to come to Anfield and play like they do at St James's Park. It'll be much more of a get back in position and see what we can do with quick breaks. And they do have quick people, you know, Anthony Gordon, Murphy on the right, who, to be fair, is having a fine season, and of course Alexander Isak. I mean, what a boy he is! Yeah, so. You know, so but I'm a bit like, you know, two good teams going at it. Both teams want to entertain. Both teams want to score goals. I don't have a problem if it's a great game of football. You know, you know, great atmosphere, great game of football, and as you rightly said, a curtain race over Wembley on the 16th of March.
Yeah, let's hope so, mate. Obviously, I think you and Trev might have mentioned it last week on the episode, mate. But just how good is Isaac, in your honest opinion? It's when I watch him, I think he's got the stature of an Henry, the way in which he just glides past defenders. It's something that even defenders can't even do nothing about it. The goal he scored past us this season already, he just absolutely levers it into the roof of the net, and Alisson's like, well, got nowhere near it because he's such a top elite level striker. Then it's going to be extremely difficult for Newcastle if they don't get European football to keep a player of that quality.
So a player of that quality at least needs to play in the Champions League. So Newcastle needs to get in the top 5, but also add to that, a player like that also needs to be close to winning trophies, isn't it? So, but without running the risk of maybe upsetting one or two Geordies, isn't it? But I don't think he'll finish his career at Newcastle. You know, I think at some stage he will go, Newcastle will cash in and whatever. But I just look at him and I think he's got everything. He's got an unbelievably first touch. You know, that ability just to peel off a defender, create half a yard of space for a midfield player who just pings it in. First touch is spot on in it. But he's also capable of dropping deep, building up play. And then his footwork in and around the penalty box, where he can score, all sorts of goals, isn't it? Side footers in the bottom corner, the smash against Liverpool. He's a special boy. I don't think there ever has been many world-class strikers playing at the same time. But I think if you're looking around the world, world-class number 9s, there isn't many. And even some of the pretenders, Benjamin Sesko at Leipzig or whatever, isn't it? If I had to buy one, and I'd be 100% sure, it'd be Isak, because you are 100% sure that this boy is out of this world. There is absolutely no doubt about that. What a player.
He's I think if we cast our minds back, that game was one of the very first games. Was at Anfield. Obviously, he was hit and miss in that game, and I think a couple of goals were ruled out, and you're like, well, he's only been on the pitch like 10, 15 minutes. That's obviously with the injuries, obviously a time in Spain with Real Sociedad, everyone knew, and obviously, tell you what, Sweden are hard pressed for top strikers at the minute. Obviously, Gyökeres and obviously Isak absolutely butchered those pronunciations. So apologies,
Yeah,
any
you did really well there.
yeah, Scouse Jones as well anyway, but yeah, I think you got the gist of it. In terms of the players, obviously you got Conor Bradley out injured, Gomez, Tyler Morton still out for Liverpool going to game, and Lascelles, Joe and Botman. How do you think, in terms of from a technical point of view, Liverpool will approach the game on Wednesday? It's, as you said, obviously very Liverpool, Newcastle. It's been one of the most famous fixtures for Liverpool in our history in terms of the big goals, big moments. It's just obviously it's massive 3 points in terms of what we want to do, mate. But I do anticipate Eddie Howe's style of football coming up against Arne Slot on Wednesday.
So the sensible thing is probably suggest there'll be one change because Arne Slot is not massively into changes. So if you're looking at potentially one change, could it be one of the 4 centre midfield players who drops out, or could it be Andrew Robertson who gets a little bit of a reader? Well, having said all of that, we don't have an FA Cup game at the weekend, so it's just how he views it, isn't it? Arne be well aware of what they bring, be well aware of Anthony Gordon's pace on the right and Isak through the middle. I have a feeling that maybe Tonali will come back into midfield. So the qualities that they have. So possibly Gakpo coming back in because he now looks okay. Could that mean Diaz playing centrally? I don't know. Or as I said before, Robertson. Although Robertson is, he looks like he's fighting his way through it, doesn't he? I thought he did okay against Wolves the other week.
I tell you, Dom needs a good rest, doesn't he? Like,
he does, but I don't think you can convince him he needs a rest. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He's got 3 lungs, that fella, anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's obviously it's a great performance. I think Eddie Howe, he surprised a lot of people coming to Newcastle as well, really, in that regard. But as you mentioned, the start 11, but it will be interesting. It's another cup final at Anfield, and it's just not just another 3 points, it's a massive 3 points. But this is what Liverpool Football Club strives for, being in these big moments, big environments, and let's hope Liverpool can do the business as well, Reds.